Hello and welcome to our review of the top 10 performing systems for the week ending Friday, February 10th, 2017. System performance is measured according to total profits and losses, including live and hypothetical trades. My goal here is to provide a simple evaluation and critique and to point out any red flags that are not always transparent when looking at a system's ranking or metrics. I'm here to point out risks and to remind you to exercise diligence when you come across a promising system. Before we get started, take some time to read our risk disclosure. You can pause the video or visit our risk disclosure page using this link. Remember that past performance does not guarantee future results, and hypothetical results have inherent limitations which should be carefully considered, as some of the systems we will be discussing combine both live and hypothetical trades. Now let's get started. Holding the number one spot on our list is a system called Poseidon 1521 DAX. This system was developed by Todo Bolsa, and although it occupies the top spot on our list, it has a few red flags that I really want to point out. Let's take a look at its performance. Okay, first, the last 2 years were unprofitable, with 2015's net loss almost half of its worst historical drawdown. If you add up the winning versus losing months from 2013 to 2016, you come up with a figure of 35% profitable months and 64% losing months, which is a stark contrast to its average per trade win rate of 46.6%. Now, if you add up the next net profits and losses from 2013 to 2016, you come up with a negative profit factor of 1.41, which diverges from its average total profit factor, that is positive profit factor, of 1.28. So this comes to show that just because a system occupies a particular spot based on its total profits, right, or total profits and losses, which may include hypothetical performance, which again may or may not be a good thing. It really depends, and it's relative, and we do have another video which discusses how to view hypothetical versus live results. You have to look at the details and consider whether such a system matches your financial objectives and risk tolerance. Let's go on to the number 2 system on our list. Holding the second spot on our list is a system called Lag DAX 17, an intraday system developed by Luis Anton. Although the system's backtested data span back to 2001, it has only been tracked since September 2016, and it has been traded live for 1 month only, which is November 2016. This makes it a relatively new system. And if you are interested in the system, you might want to check out other systems by the same developer, that is Luis Anton, systems that have been tracked or traded live for a much longer period. Number 3, Panda DAX, a swing system developed by YA Trading. It looks like a relatively decent system with no major red flags, except that it has only been trading live starting this month, making it relatively new, and that the drawdown of negative 16,690 may be a bit steep for some investors. The profit factor of 2.10 is higher than average, so if you are interested in this system, do your homework and research the metrics before jumping in. Number 4, Lag Crude Oil 4, another system by developer Luis Anton. This system has been trading live since 2015. And its profit factor of 1.36 is an average reading in comparison to most other systems on our list. Just note that the worst drawdown is relatively high, exceeding 26,000, almost at 27,000, and currently the system is being tracked and appears to be positive. Other than these points just mentioned, if this system interests you, be sure to do further research or call us to discuss specific metrics on the system. Number 5. Berlin RFQ5, a swing system developed by AI Trading. My main issue with this is that as a swing system, its annual profit and loss distribution is similar to that of a long-term trend following system. It seems highly volatile, and one can only wonder why. Just look at its performance. Let's look at performance from 2014 to the present. You have a positive 2,632, then a negative 32,781, then another positive 3,090. This seems consistent across all of its back-tested years. The main question is this: can you, as an investor, handle this kind of volatile distribution? Also, note that the worst drawdown exceeding 55,000 is high for many investors. Occupying our sixth spot is Agudo DAX 62 by developer Antonio Agudo. The main red flags are the exceedingly high drawdown of 77,114 and the fact that live P&L is negative while the track P&L is positive, despite the fact that it had been trading live since 2013. To be fair, I should mention that the live subscribers decided to unsubscribe during years which ultimately showed a net profit. The question is whether these subscribers might have experienced a profit if they had continued trading the system, or is the system's expected equity swings too much of a roller coaster ride for most investors? Next on our list, occupying spot number 7, is Poseidon 221 DAX 2 by Todo Bolsa. This system has been in the red for nearly the last 3 years, and one can see this by simply eyeing the equity chart. Now, will the system regain its upward momentum as the past 2 months have shown? This is a risk that you have to determine for yourself. If the system is experiencing a drawdown, in this case, a nearly 3-year drawdown, might it be a good time to jump in, or might it indicate that something might be wrong with the system? Number 8, Joseja or Joseja 2 Mini Nasdaq. This system by developer Javier Gonzalez Barros is a promising new system, which means that to date it hasn't yet been traded live, and it has been tracked only since November 2016. However, it has decent hypothetical metrics with a profit factor of 1.45 and a low historical drawdown and a little bit above the 5,500 range. The only caveat I can find here is that as an intraday system, it appears to place at least 10 trades per day. So we don't know what the effect of live slippage will be, nor do we know what kind of order types, as in market or limit orders, are placed by the system. Order types being important as limit orders may get filled in a simulation, but not necessarily in a live market. So, as with every new promising system, exercise discretion, but note that the stats for this system seem reasonably favorable. Number 9. Cirrus ST Mini Nasdaq. Similar to the last system we just looked at, Cirrus ST Mini Nasdaq, developed by Cirrus Trading, is also a new system that hadn't been traded live. One difference, however, is that this system seems to be trading at times almost double the amount of trades as the last system. Again, because we don't know what the effect of slippage, that is live slippage, will be, nor do we know the order types that this system uses. Exercise caution with this one if you are going to be one of its early adopters. It also has a worst hypothetical drawdown of 11,525. We do not know what kind of a drawdown it will get in a live market. It can be better or worse, but until then, we have to wait until an early adopter decides to give it a try in a live market. And finally, occupying our 10th spot is Gold Driver by Rising Group. This system started trading live at the beginning of this year and to date has shown positive results. The profit factor and hypothetical performance seem promising. Just note the worst drawdown of 15,810. Other than these points just mentioned, it appears to be a promising system that is relatively new. And like every system, particularly promising ones, exercise discretion and do your homework before you decide to subscribe to it. And that concludes our review of the top 10 performing systems for the week ending Friday, February 10th, 2017. If you have any questions about these systems, feel free to send us an email at team@halifaxamerica.com. And also feel free to visit our website at halifaxamerica.com. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week for the next review.